Path of Exile is the latest Diablo clone from the creators of Diablo 2, because you know the entire games industry consists of people who worked on either Doom or Diablo 2. And yes, I know you prefer it if I call it hack and slash dungeon crawler isometric action RPG. Now I've played 3 other games in this genre: Diablo 2, Titan Quest and Torchlight, so let me give my opinion on all 3. Good story, boring combat. Boring, good combat, but insanely repetitive. You may have guessed that I don't like the dungeon crawler genre as a whole, so take this review with a mountain of salt. You start the game on a ship and pick your class, so I went with a duelist who's a dexterity roguish class. Stranded on a beach, I found a sword and started clicking some zombies. Ha! Take that, zombie! Now, as I stated in my chivalry review, I like my combat to feel meaty. While it feels satisfying to hit enemies, there's one thing that annoys the hell out of me. Sometimes when you swing your weapon at the enemy, you just flat out miss, and it feels so bad. And the worst part about this is there's nothing you can do to avoid this except grind more gear. And I was hoping for this game to keep the gear grind to a minimum. Huh? What's that? Oh, it's made by Grinding Gear Games. Okay then. But if we're going to grind gear, then why doesn't the loot glow? After playing the duelist for around 5 hours, I decided to switch class. So I went with a Templar, and oh my god. 3 words. Area of effect. The Templar is so much fun to play because you're always fighting hordes of enemies, and drowning them in a rain of fire is so much more fun than just slashing away. I like the aesthetic a lot. It's very dark and gritty in the vein of Diablo 2, and the atmosphere almost gets a bit Dark Soulsy in places. I think the game deviates enough from the Diablo formula to make me interested. Getting rid of the healing potion grind is a huge improvement. I also like finding my skills instead of them being class specific. Oh, and don't be scared by the ginormous skill tree. It may seem huge at first, but it's surprisingly easy to use. While I find the entire dungeon crawler genre extremely boring, Path of Exile is still the one I stuck with the longest. So Path of Exile isn't getting away without a recommendation. And why would I recommend a game that I didn't enjoy? Because people who like dungeon crawlers will probably love this game, because it does so many things right, and it's free to play. That's right, the game that should have been Diablo 3 is free to play.